A TikToker by the name of I Am 10 Toes spoke out about breaking generational racism among his folks.
I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret about white people. Every single white person knows somebody who is racist. Racist towards black people, racist towards Spanish people. We all know somebody. It might be our family member, might be a distant relative, might be a coworker, might be an old friend, but we all know somebody. Personally, I come from a whole family of racist people. Yeah, my entire family is Republican too, okay? My dad's parents are racist, and my mom's parents are racist, okay? So I'm literally going against everything by talking about this. I am putting my own life on the line by speaking about this, and that's what we all should be doing. See, we could have ended this a long time ago, but people like my mom listened to these racist comments that their parents were making and didn't speak out against it. They kept their mouths shut, or they agreed with them silently, but they didn't do anything about it. They continue to let this be passed on generation after generation. Oh, my mom never told me or taught me any racist ideologies. She continued to let it happen because she didn't speak out against it when her parents were talking about it or my dad's parents were talking. So if you are against racism and you are against discrimination and you're a white person, you need to speak out about it. Otherwise, you are allowing this to continue generation after generation, and you are just as much a part of the problem as anybody else.
Today we are talking about racial segregation that Africans in the United States face from the white people. We prefer calling them African Americans. Most people don't like being called Black Americans.
Black people in the US should get an apology from the white people because some of these white people, their grandfathers enslaved these black people who were taken from Africa
to the
United States.
My insight is that we are both humans, whether black or white, and whatever our fellow black people went through is not right. So the white people, I think they should apologize. Even if it's their forefathers who did that, I think it's just right. They apologize to the Africans for whatever they went through.
Yeah. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me this morning. I am the wife of Pastor Les Robinson. Quickly, we've seen America rally behind court cases through the years over intellectual property and real property, oftentimes resulting in millions of dollars in restitution. We rally behind it without the blink of an eye because it's something that has been stolen and restitution should be made. We cannot forget or ignore the fact that we stole people from their native land. We stripped them from their families, from their culture, and from their birthright. Yet white America has turned a blind eye to this and say they should get over it, or it's been so long and it doesn't affect the African Americans today because it happened so long ago. On behalf of myself, my family, and my ancestors, I want to publicly apologize to the African American community for our ignorance, our arrogance, our insensitivity to your cause, and for any part we may have had in the atrocities done to your people. I stand here today humbly to show my love and support. Whether enslaved or freed, we know that many African Americans have had inventions they didn't get credit for and therefore earned no revenue. Land was stolen from many, as in my husband's case. My husband has the deeds to these properties that state this land belongs to my descendants forever and ever. There should be no question of what should be done. His land has been stolen, his generational wealth stolen, the schooling opportunities he should have had stolen, his opportunity to grow up in a safe environment where his family could afford housing stolen. He was forced into poverty, running to and from school, hoping to avoid getting into a fight or even getting shot and killed. This wasn't the legacy his grandfather left him. His rightful inheritance was stripped from him. Where is his restitution? There is no record of the properties ever being sold. If this were a claim about a white man's property being stolen, I'm sure the court case would have been resolved by now. He should have the right to reclaim financial compensation for what was left to him by his great-great-great-grandfather, Daniel Blue.
Thank you so much for
so that he may pass it down to his descendants.
I normally call these restoration and reparations. They should provide a restorative approach to making things work, and a reparative approach to make things work. Reparations is acknowledging you did wrong, apologizing, and restoration is things which were stolen as a result of the slavery, the colonialism, should be brought back to the people who it was taken from. If it was taken from Guinea, it should be brought back to Guinea. If it was taken from Angola, it should be brought back to Angola. That one now we call restoration. So the white
have reparation.
And reparations. Reparation is now apologizing, acknowledging, and making ways to make things right. You understand?
Yes. Find that you see when someone apologizes for a mistake.
Yeah.
How can I put it? You feel free in your heart, like you don't have any grudge or anything against the other person.
Sure.
You are free. It lets you to be free.
Yeah. So being free in this case, I believe, I'm not speaking for you, but you're speaking for yourself.
Yeah.
But being free, I believe, is having that free movement.
Yeah.
Many people are being pulled out of their cars by police, and many times they get shot and they die. You see the story with George Floyd. He was shot. He was that person thought that he was a criminal, and he knelt on his neck until he died. He screamed, "I can't breathe, man. Can't breathe. Give me some air."
So bad.
It was so bad.
Even like humans, like in our daily life, we do mistakes. We do mistakes to other people.
What level of white supremacy is it that makes white people think apologies are always about them? In case you missed it yesterday, and that's not a judgment because I missed it initially too, yesterday a very big book talker named Sim Kern, who's been very outspoken about Palestine, basically made a call-out video to a black woman named Dara Star Tucker and said that Dara had not spoken about Palestine, and kind of made it sound like because of that Dara had no reason to speak to or talk about or talk to Sim. There's about a million problems with that, but the core of the issue was that Dara has also been extremely outspoken about Gaza. So the whole thing was just untrue. But here's where we get to the problem I'm seeing today. Sim made 2 apology videos. The first one was horrible. It was awful. It was full of excuses, and Sim has to be aware that it was full of excuses. Sim put out a second apology video, which is objectively better, I guess, but whatever. The problem is with the comment section on that second apology video. It is full of white people, especially cisgender white women, who are like, not even just accepting the apology that is not for them, but lauding Sim about it. You're so brave. Oh, your accountability is an inspiration. Shut the fuck up. This is such a big aspect of white culture, and especially with white people online, and especially, again, with cisgender white women, where they see an apology and they decide that it's about them, even if they were never involved in the situation. In what world is Sim apologizing to Dara, and by bigger extension, Sim apologizing to black women, have anything to do with you? So whether or not you ask for it, you're getting my advice. If you're a white person and you see an apology that you really, really, really like, instead of jumping into the comments and telling that person how great they are for apologizing and how amazing the apology is and how everyone should ever accept their apology, first of all, first piece of advice, again, shut the fuck up. Second, you know that little favorite button? Hit that little button, save the video. That way you can go back to it and you can learn from it. If you really think an apology is great, if you think that there's a lot to be learned from that apology, a lot to be gained from that apology, save it so that you can use some of that wording for yourself when you inevitably screw up later. Stay out of the comment section. Stay out of things that don't involve you. And I know that's what this is really about, because it's extremely hard for white people, and especially for cisgender white women, to believe that the entire fucking world doesn't revolve around you. But it doesn't. If you like an apology, learn from it. Don't insert yourself into situations where you don't belong, and don't accept apologies that are not for you. And for fuck's sake, don't compliment people who are actively fucking up.
I've noticed recently a few posts by white people apologizing for being racist, being discriminatory, being silent, being indifferent, behaving in a white privileged way. And this has been pastors and community leaders and politicians. And it's a tough thing to do, first of all, let me just say, so respect to anybody that does that. But what has bothered me is when I've read through the comments section on these posts. Because the comments section itself is the very thing that the post is apologizing about. Because the comments section is a divide between white and black people. The white people are jumping on these apology posts, reassuring the white person posting the apology how loved they are, how appreciated they are, what a good person they are, how we love you and love your family, we pray for you, how you've been a great leader to my life, all the things you've done in the past to help black people. And black people are putting in the comments section, you hurt us. You excluded us. You didn't see us. You were silent about us. You were white privileged towards us. You deepened our pain. So the comments section becomes itself the very thing that the post was trying to address. And I want to say a couple of things. I want to say, first of all, when we do that in the posts, it becomes about the person that's posting, not about the issue. The post isn't about the person's character or sensitivities or their love and heart for people. It's about the pain they have caused, we have caused, to black people. And I think black people get sick and tired of dancing around white people's sensibilities when it comes to a strong discussion about race, discrimination, white privilege. Black people almost have to wait until the white people can stomach it, until the white people can get beyond their sense of superiority or their sense of immunity or their shame or their guilt before they can really say what they want to say. And the comments section feels like that. And I want to say also to us white people, and especially in the church, it is far more loving often to stay silent than to use your love to anesthetize each other from a pain we must feel. When you love bomb us, when we're apologizing for something we did that deepened the pain of black people and people of color in the world at this time, when you love bomb us away from it, when you try to put us in that love bubble around us by your love and affirmation, it just deepens people's pain. And you must understand, it's far more loving sometimes to not say I love you and to let us feel the pain of what it is we're trying to fix. And these comment sections have been an eye-opener to me that we white people just don't get it. When one of us tries to apologize and do something progressive, if that's what I hope it is, white people jump in and try to fix it and try to sanitize it and try to anesthetize it and dilute it, and we need to stop it. I think also if these posts of apology were not done from a genuine heart of wanting to learn and grow and humble ourselves and listen to what black people are saying to us, if we posted for, political correctness or damage limitation or to appear open and humble and vulnerable, then your ego posted. You didn't post, I didn't post, our white ego posted, and then it'll all just come back again anyway. So, good on you for apologizing, those that do that. It's a tough thing to do. But maybe the white people posting should say, please white people, stay off my feed. Don't jump on here trying to anesthetize me. I want to feel this pain. If I don't feel this pain, nothing's going to change, because black people have felt this pain for centuries. All right, love and prayers with you all. Let's keep growing and learning, eh? Love you guys. Thank you.
So I grew up in apartheid South Africa as a English-speaking white boy. I only became politically conscious when I was already 18 years of age, because prior to that, I had been subjected to and sucked in this incredible propaganda of victimization of the white people, where every piece of news, every message we were getting, every joke, the butt of every joke was the stupidity of the black man, the inability of the black man to look after himself, never mind the country, to be ignorant, uneducated, break everything he touched. The messaging was that all violence was black violence, that all crime was black crime, that you had to fear black people. And a huge amount of that fear was that if we let them into the political process, into the governance of the country, that they would do to us exactly what we had done to them for decades, which would be to turn around and oppress us, to murder us, to take our stuff, to move into our houses. It was a very popular story that the ANC, prior to the '94 election, when it was still an illegal organization and Nelson Mandela was still in jail, and the armed wing was exiled to Zambia and Mozambique, Umkhonto we Sizwe, was that they promised all of our domestic servants that those servants would be given the house they worked in when the ANC ruled. And these stories were told amongst the whites to bolster our resolve never to let these black people run our country. And it was only when I became conscious of that from 18 onwards that I realized not only was this a terrible lie that was actually oppressing us as well as the people that we as a white nation, white minority, were oppressing, but that actually what happened subsequently from 1994 onwards was far more of a reflection of the nature of black South Africans than any fears we as white South Africans had been fed and believed. Right? And I see direct parallels with what's happening in Palestine and Israel. We've been fed this bullshit of Israel as victim, of the Zionist government as defending, this idea that the entire Arab world wanted to wipe them off the map, when in fact prior to the Nakba, prior to Palestine being given to Israel by the colonial powers, primarily Britain, many Jews lived very happily and harmoniously alongside Muslims and Christians within that region. They weren't oppressed there. They became the oppressor through the Zionist ambition of a few Israelis. White government for many, many years in South Africa needed the violence of Umkhonto we Sizwe. They needed the odd bomb to go off. They needed terror attacks because it justified the further repression. And I've told stories about when I was in the South African Defence Force in 1987-88, 88-89. The things that were done by the intelligence service to undermine the ANC and other liberation struggles, and to pit black against black, to distract black people from action against the oppressive minority and the history of oppression. And it's time to step aside from what we've been told and look at the truth, look at the reality, look at the history, educate ourselves, and make a moral judgment based on our real values.
So guys, after carefully watching this video, we were watching it while seated, but now we've decided to do what?
To stretch a little bit.
Yeah.
To stretch our muscles and then come back stronger. And
these stretching muscles will pump more blood to our brain, and we'll be able to give you more reaction videos.
Yes.
And be thoughtful on the things that we think why it is important to have such kind of discussions, having black Americans being talked to in public, acknowledging the mistakes, and acknowledging indeed everything is not as it seems. Because do you think the United States was built for white people or black people?
For everyone.
Why?
The same as Africa. We welcome everyone. We have the white people, we have the black people. So I think it should be the same.
Why do you think so?
Me, I think that when God created the world, the earth, he didn't intend that this place will be for white people only, this one will be for black people only. It's us humans who came up with the idea that we should live this way.
Yeah.
So for me, I think the United States should be free for everyone. And free space to explore.
And do you know, for United States to be free for everyone, what should happen first is acknowledging this wrong, which is a good thing. You know, some people would say that it is not a must, or rather it is not okay for someone. It is not okay for us to say someone has done a good thing by them saying sorry. They should say sorry regardless of them
doing good or bad.
No, they should say sorry regardless of we acknowledging they did good or bad. So human circumstances should be judged, or rather behaviors should be judged outside human circumstances. It's like stealing. Can you say that stealing is good? No. Or rather, can somebody justify that I did steal because I was hungry? Stealing is bad regardless.
Stealing is bad regardless of the situation that you are in.
Regardless of the situation that you are in. And for this case, acknowledging that, white people acknowledging that they did mistakes to black people is really a good thing that I think is a game changer in this. Yeah, I think from henceforth we'll be having more and more coexistence between the black and the
white.
And the white. Yeah, United States was built for everyone. And if it was built for everyone, then everyone should be treated equally. Equal education,
equal opportunities in healthcare facilities, in schools,
work, employment.
Yeah.
Because there's such a huge economic gap between the black people of USA and the white people of USA, and this is making us feel like this is making the community of the United States of America to be biased in a way. And the slavery did take place. You know, I'm surprised that some people always think that slavery never took place.
It took place. Because how did the black people find themselves in the United States?
Yes.
Because of slavery.
Yes, because of
slavery. And they didn't go there willingly. Yes. Okay, nowadays people go there willingly because of work or marriages, intermarriages, but back then it was due to slavery.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Now, we acknowledging this, when the United States of America is a one piece, but not divisions, we find it easy as black people to visit our brothers and sisters and cousins, our grandparents over there in the United States of America. Because USA in itself was also built by the black people.
Yes.
The United States was built on the back of slaves. Do you know that?
No, I know, you've told me.
So having an apology is not an easy thing to do, and this is a very positive sign. Malcolm X said this should have been done very long ago, but regardless, better late than never. We have people apologizing, acknowledging the mistakes. I can't just find the right words to put it across that these people have really made a good step, and they have really made a good thing in trying to reconcile these two conflicting parties and situations.
Also, you see, like when the white people come to Africa, we are so welcoming.
Yeah.
You can see even at the airport, the black people are so happy to see white people, and even in some cases, white people are treated better than black people in Africa. So I think it should be this way. If us black people right now we decide to visit the United States, we also should be treated with love, welcoming heart. Yani, the happiness that you can see on black people faces when they see white people should be done the same to us when we come to the United States.
And this will only be done when there's reconciliation between those two races, or rather two communities.
Yes.
Guys, thank you for watching. We will see you in the next
video. And also visit my channel, Blentine Vlogs. I'll really appreciate.
She's having she's going to have. Are you having all you are going to have?
I'm going to have
a reaction video channel.
Yes.
So you shall also find me there.
Yes.
Yeah. This is Blenton Vlogs. This is Evans from Kenya.
Thank
See you guys.
you for taking your time to watch these videos. We really appreciate. Bye guys.
Bye bye.